for stating that. Finally, to Baroness Brown, you spoke with my colleague Pippa Halings about local flood forums. I've just lost, there we go. What other examples might you cite of good practice in involving communities and property owners in flood resilience planning? How can community participation in flood resilience measures be made more effective?
Well, we're seeing increasing numbers of cities and indeed combined authorities and other groups having their own climate commissions. And looking, not only at how do we become net zero, but looking more broadly at how do we also adapt to the changes we now know are definitely going to happen, and indeed they could be worse if the mitigation doesn't move faster. And I think there we are seeing most of these areas. We had here in Parliament yesterday. We had the Leeds and South Yorkshire group talking about what they've been doing, and that comes from various levels of bringing local government together in an area, but also coming out and engaging with people. And I know when I chaired the Climate Commission for the Peterborough and Cambridgeshire Combined Authority, we had some public events where we got the public to come in and tell us what they were concerned about and explain to them sort of the things that might be done. So I do think there's real value in those local events. But I also do know the pressures on funding at a local level mean that it's quite hard to do those at a level of real intensity.
Thanks very much.
Would you mind if I just added to that?
Please do.
I just wanted to draw upon some examples. So Baroness Brown mentioned the Environment Agency led a review of the shoreline management plans, which is the sort of process on the coasts. And I was involved in that review, and what we saw in some of the best practice was that, because I think when we often talk about these community groups, that we think it's just if you like we often forget that we need to involve a lot of the key agencies, actors and sort of land owners and other kind of key organisations in some of those discussions. And the very best examples of the development of shoreline management plans brought in not necessarily to everything, but as part of those processes, not just members of the community, but key organisations who maybe had a role in the community. Maybe it was the Highways Agency, Network Rail, utility operators, and so on, who had a key stake in, if you like, the resilience of those areas. And I think that's a really important part. We often don't see those organisations so engaged at those community levels, and I think there's an opportunity there.
Yeah.